Oh, by the way, I'm Michael Childs. Been with Baba since the day after he dropped his body. Found out about him in New York. Met Marion about that time, and went to the Great Darshan. And Baba blew my mind so much. I've never recovered, which is a good thing. But I moved to the center with my family in 1971, and I met Edith there. And Edith was a very attractive woman in her youth, so she said, and I believed her. But she was in her 80s when she told me the story, and she brought her boyfriend with her, and she greeted Baba, and she said, "Oh, you've got to meet this fellow that I'm with. He's so wonderful." And Baba said to her, "Why are you carrying that ant around in your pocket?"
Oh my goodness, really? That's what he said?
Yeah,
Oh,
like she didn't know her own value or her own
Could,
worth.
could could you say that again? What you said?
Why are you carrying that ant around in your pocket?
Ah.
my
What does that
goodness.
mean? What does that mean? Did they
It
refer back
means
to
that,
my boyfriend?
in other words, she her notion of him, she figured, how can I say it? She didn't think that much of herself. And so this fellow that she with liked her or lusted her, one or the other. And and she was very happy over that. And Baba said to her by that statement that she was a great soul and that this fellow was not very evolved. And he just wanted to remind her of that.
You know, I spent a great deal of time with Edith and would take her to town. We would go to town for where she needed groceries like that, all sorts of things for years, for many years. And we just were companions a lot, did a lot of things together. All and yet there was a lot I didn't know about her. And I know she got these letters from Jal. She had correspondence with Jal, and he would send her Baba things and write her these love letters like my darling. But rather than say Edith, he'd say, my darling Helen.
So it's probably the same letter he
And
wrote to
she
everyone.
loved it. She loved that, getting those letters from John. And she never knew. I don't know. I mean, if he did that intentionally, because he had so many, I guess. Yeah.
You know, the theme tonight is April Fool's since it's April 2nd.
Okay.
And your story so far kind of humorous about the ant in the pocket.
Well, I want to keep it that way, you know. The can you guys hear me okay? Am
Yeah.
I not?
Uh,
Okay. So look, I'm going to read you a poem, a very solemn poem. So put your solemn hats on, but be quick to take them off at the punchline. And this is Guzzle R from my alphabetic guzzles. I don't know if no, it shows up. Okay. Often I catch myself thinking of nothing, or rather, something that defies description. But if it was something, why does it seem like nothing? A nothing, something totally absorbing, uninterrupted by telephones and customers, worldly duties, worries that extinguish the absent present, something nothing that beckons through the garbage like running in a dream, going nowhere and forgetting why. I see you. I know it's you. You're neither male nor female, nor an it, yet you are quite human, but more so. You are everything. As I say that, I try to crowd everything into a little room, and that's not it. Let me try that again. Everything means everything before anything existed. It could be nothing. except that the nothing is full of everything. Okay, let's recapitulate. Lord, you are nothing, something that is totally everything before anything existed, full and empty, except that everything and nothing cannot be full or empty, since nothing exists in everything before anything existed. Did I make myself clear?
Can you read it again?
Well, I'll read the last line and I'll read it over. All right, I admit it. I don't know what it is I'm seeing, only I'm certain it is you.
All right.
You want that again?
Yeah.
All right. Often I catch myself thinking of nothing, or rather something that defies description. But if it was something, why does it seem like nothing? A nothing, something totally absorbing, interrupted by telephones and customers, worldly duties, worries that extinguish the absent present, something nothing that beckons through the garbage like running in a dream, going nowhere and forgetting why. I see you. I know it's you. You're neither male nor female, nor an it, yet you are quite human, but more so. You are everything. As I say that, I try to crowd everything into a little room, and that's not it. Let me try that again. Everything means everything before anything existed. It could be nothing except that the nothing is full of everything. Okay, let's recapitulate. Lord, you are nothing, something that is totally everything before anything existed, full and empty, except that everything and nothing cannot be full or empty, since nothing exists in everything before anything existed. Did I make myself clear? All right, I admit it. I don't know what it is I'm seeing, only I'm certain it is you. Jay Baba.
Jay Baba. Good one.
Thanks. So that was my shot at the apple. I have a few jokes that I know Bubba would like, and I know a few stories that he did like. So who's up? Oh, by the way, everybody pick the number before they came on
No,
the show? No?
nobody picked the number.
All right, forget it. Everybody go home.
If you have something, raise your hand. If you have something to share, raise your hand digitally. Most folks know how to do that digitally. I know a few folks. Well, I've got something, but it's not.
But you didn't raise your hand, Betty.
We've got shy folks here. Let's see.
Um,
All right. Well, it's Hafiz. It's not funny, but I'll read it just because it's April and it's about April. And you have to read an April poem in April. And I'm going to show you, I put it in our Oregon newsletter, so and it was pretty. So I'm going to share screen and show you. I found some nice Persian calligraphy that I thought said Hafiz. I'm really not sure. But anyway, so I will show you and I'll read it. That's Mount Hood, by the way, in Oregon. I thought that we loved that photo. And that was our newsletter for several years. All right, so here we go. Ode 7, Part 1, Hafiz. Heart, have you heard the news? Spring has come back. Have you heard? With little green shoot and little pink bud and the little new hatched bird and the rose. Yes, yes, the rose. Nightingale, have you heard the news? The rose has come back. And oops, I'm sorry. Oh, I just lost it. Let me.
Welcome to the web.
Let's see. I'll get back there. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, here we go. And the rose, yes, the rose. Nightingale, have you heard the news? The rose has come back, and the green and the blue, and everything is as new as the dew. New nightingale, new rose, wind of the east, flower-footed breeze. Oh, take my love to the budding trees. To the cypress, take it, and take it too to the tender nurslings of meadows and leas. To the basil, take it, messenger breeze, and I send it, my love, to you. So glad am I of the newfound sun. I believe I could kiss the tavern door, why I could sweep the tavern floor with the lashes of my eyes. Oh, April skies, the winter's done. Oh, April skies, the spring's begun. And honey humming, summer's coming close behind. Oh, April skies, even the tavern girl is kind. Hafiz, remember well how short is spring, and drain the good days deep ere they depart. Thou nightingale that shall forever sing, rose of thine own imperishable art. Hey, Baba.
Jai
And
Baba.
I want to talk a little bit about I looked for what I thought was Hafiz. I'm still not, so I just chose this one. And what happened to be underneath, it's really tiny. Here, maybe I can make it a little bigger. Was something I didn't know what. So I asked my friend Mahu to tell me what this Persian right here, what was it? What did it say? And she said this, it's beautiful. Oh, our beloved king, from the sorrow of being separated from you, my heart is now crying out to you. It is time to come back.
Mm,
So I thought that was a
mm,
special little gift. That
thank you. It's
little
beautiful.
teeny, yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Mhm.
So thank you for listening, Jay Baba.
Ah, beautiful, nicely read too.
Oh, thanks. Okie dokie. So that's for me. Mhm.
Who will jump into the arena now? I got to pick people, I guess. Bob, you look like you have something on the tip of your tongue.
Well, I have my A Year with Rumi book handy, so I just turned to April 1st's selection. So I didn't know this was going on tonight. I just happened to see it at the end of Artie. So I will read the April 1st. No, that's wrong. It's the March 21st one. It's titled Spring, however, by Rumi. Again, the violet bows to the lily. Again, the rose is tearing off her gown. The green ones have come from the other world, tipsy, like the breeze up to some new foolishness. Again, near the top of the mountain, the anemone's sweet features appear. The hyacinth speaks formally to the jasmine. Peace be with you, and peace to you, lad. Come walk with me in the meadow. The friend is here, like water in the stream, like a lotus on the water. The ringdove comes asking, where? Where's the friend? With one note, the nightingale indicates the rose. Many things must be left unsaid because it is late, but whatever conversation we have not had tonight, we will have tomorrow. Oh. Jai Baba.
J-Bo.
Thank you,
Hey, Baba.
Jai Baba.
Do I have to keep on picking people? Is there no one who will step forward?
Could we have it again from Bob, that one? Do you mind reading it again?
Oh, sure. Let me see here. Spring. Again, the violet bows to the lily. Again, the rose is tearing off her gown. The green ones have come from the other world, tipsy like the breeze up to some new foolishness. Again, near the top of the mountain, The anemone's sweet features appear. The hyacinth speaks formally to the jasmine. Peace be with you, and peace to you, lad. Come, walk with me in the meadow. The friend is here, like water in the stream, like a lotus on the water. The ringdove comes asking, where is the friend? With one note, the nightingale indicates the rose. Many things must be left unsaid because it is late. But whatever conversation we have not had tonight, we will have tomorrow. Yay, Bob.
Jai Baba.
Thank you, Bob. That was nice. Thanks, but that was good to come up with. So spur of the moment. Very, very nice. I know there are people here with something to share.
I,
Well, Robert has something.
yeah, okay.
Okay. Now this is something I wrote 25 years ago. It's an abstract free write, very abstract. Appearances. Maybe not so abstract, but we'll see. Seems somewhat sexy, sensefully soaring endlessly through star-studded galaxies, selling sound bites echoing laughter and love, challenging all the seeds of darkness, operating still in lost corners of the universe, eating up chopped liver of pesticides, degrading into gangrene and bacterial fungi with cancerous overtones of ineptitude, with pale riders of lost causes, causing nonsensical avalanches of depravity and starkness, still residing at a respectable address of good standing within a community of apparent wakefulness, with no good intentions appearing in the window for future generations.
Mm. Aha. Wow.
Gotta read it again.
What?
You got to read that one again. You have
Yes. Would you read it again? Yeah.
All right, I'll read it again. Seems, the title is Appearances. Seems somewhat sexy, sensefully soaring endlessly through star-studded galaxies, selling sound bites, echoing laughter and love, challenging all the seeds of darkness, operating still in lost corners of the universe, eating up chopped liver of pesticides, degrading into gangrene and bacterial fungi, with cancerous overtones of ineptitude, with pale riders of lost causes, causing nonsensical avalanches of depravity and starkness, still residing at a respectable address of good standing within a community of apparent wakefulness, with no good intentions appearing in the window for future generations.
Well,
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. So Ralph, let's hear from you. Thank you, Robert.
I'd like to share reading the first, let's say the first 31 of the 101 names of God from Bob, but translated from ancient Zoroastrian language by Baba, Mayor Baba. Worthy of work. I won't try to pronounce the original language. Was number one, like is Yazad, worthy of worship. Harvest Tawan, all powerful. The third is all knowing. 4 is Lord of all. 5 is without beginning, without end, root of creation, endless bliss, primal cause. exalted one, purest of the pure, detached from all, in touch with all, unattainable, attainer of all, most righteous, upholder of all, beyond reason, sovereign reason, bountiful one, ever prolific, reaching equally to all, nourisher, protector of the world, never changing, formless, most steadfast among the steadfast, Lord invisible, all pervading, all in all, worthy of our profound thanks. Was 31. Do you want to hear more, or shall we take a break?
Well, let's take a break, hear another story, and come back to it. How's that sound?
Okay, J. Bob.
Jay Bob, thank you. Thank you. Well, next victim. Was that you, Lenitra? Did you raise your hand? Lenita?
I have a more hopeful poem that I wrote to Bob.
Okay, you're up.
Okay.
I have a
Return to innocence. Dear Baba, may your love return me to innocence, where I have no pretense, where I am like a child, ever tender and mild, with joy in my heart, ever happy to be apart, trusting my inner core, never finding anything a bore, feeling a part of the whole, where all I see I adore, ever curious with all that I do, never judging myself or any other too, happy to be in the present, not hampered by wounds relentless, or thinking my fears to be true, making me feel so blue. Yes, I am part of the whole, loving each moment as I go, never thinking I am separate or apart, beaming your love in my heart. Thank you, Mayor Baba. I love you so, helping me to be so lovingly whole.
Jay Baba, very sweet. Well, Lenita,
Okay, Jay Baba.
Jay Baba.
I'll read half it because I don't write poems yet. Maybe I will start one day in my old age. So I don't have my own poems to read. I'm gonna read half it. Okay?
Go ahead. All right. Please.
Okay. Your attachments, my dear. Let's not speak of those. For Hafiz understands the suffering of your heart. Hafiz knows the torments and the agonies that every mind on the way to annihilation in the sun must endure. So at night in my prayers, I often stop and ask 1,000 angels to join in and applaud. And applaud anything in this world that can bring your heart comfort. Jai Baba.
Jay Baba. It's beautiful. Well, I'm going to tell a story that I read in The God Man, which was it was touted as one of Baba's favorite jokes. And if you saw Men in Black, the last line or so of the joke is in that movie. Anybody see Men in Black here?
No.
Yes? Yeah, it's hilarious. So you see one of the last images of Men in Black is the hand of God playing marbles with the universe. And Baba was playing marbles, and that Ben Heyman from Texas was watching or no, he wasn't participating, but he was watching Baba play. So Baba turned to him and said, I play marbles with the universe too. And to put things into perspective, right? So a man goes to the movie theater with his chicken. And he has this chicken that he brought up from a little chick, and he takes it everywhere. So I wanted to see this particular movie, and so he brought the chicken with him and said to the ticket to the lady, 2 tickets, one for me, one for the chicken. And the ticket lady said, no, I'm sorry, you can't bring that chicken in here. He was disappointed, but he took his chicken and he went into a nearby alley and he stuffed the chicken in his pants. And he went to the ticket lady again and said, 1 ticket for me, please. So he walks in and he sits down and he wants the chicken to watch the movie, so he unzips his fly. There were 2 women sitting next to him, sisters. And one says to the other, Mabel, the man next to me is exposing himself. And her sister says, don't worry about it. It happens all the time. Ignore him. But Mabel, this one's eating my popcorn. So I thought it was pretty funny also.
Wasn't that joke told to Baba? There's some connection. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
When I said it was one of Baba's
I know
favorite
that.
jokes, they had somebody tell it. Then there's another one I wanted to tell you about, Jane Haynes. You all know Jane Haynes? Well, she and I were good friends in the center when I lived there. And she told a story about herself in the barn with a group. And Baba had just spent the morning with the men, and they were telling each other, they were telling jokes to Baba. And Mickey Florsheim had come up with a joke about an elephant in a sports car. Jane never told me the joke, just that much. And unexpectedly, Baba said, Mickey, in front of the mixed group, men and women, he said, Mickey, tell that story you told earlier. And he was really embarrassed because it was for men only. And he told the story. And Jane turned to the woman next to her and said, I didn't understand that. Did you? And Baba turns to Mickey and said, Mickey, tell that story again. Jane didn't understand it. Do you get the humor of the situation? I mean, if you're embarrassed once, why not be embarrassed twice, right? So everybody was totally embarrassed. And Jane and I were good friends. And she was willing to tell me that much. So who got Mayor Kiran? All the way from India?
Indiana.
Indiana. Well, it's the same. It's almost
It's
the same.
the
Close.
Yes. So there is a hole in the bucket, dear Baba, dear Baba. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Baba, dear Baba. The bucket is never full, dear Baba, dear Baba. The bucket is never full. That bucket is my heart, dear Baba, dear Baba. That bucket is my heart, dear Baba, dear Baba. You my heart is now full because of your love, Baba. Because of your love, Baba. My heart is now full because of your love, Baba. That hole is an illusion, oh Baba, oh Baba. That hole is an illusion, oh Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Let's see, who wants to be next? Who deserves to be next? Okay, it's a choice between Gail and Miriam. Okay, rock, scissors, paper?
I think Marion has not shared
Can-
yet.
I can go
No,
next. Somebody else can go.
Well, somebody will have to go next. So why not you?
I'll go. I have two short ones from Hafiz, from A Year from Hafiz, Daniel Ladinsky. This one is actually April 3rd, tomorrow. I had a legitimate excuse. I had a legitimate excuse for not going to the mosque and temple to pray. It was because love was so wild in me, I might break the fragile glass cage that all religions are made of.
Bravo.
Wow, wow.
Wonderful. Wow.
And the other one is from May the 1st. We are like lutes. We are like lutes once held by God. Being away from his warm body fully explains our constant yearning. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Hey, Baba.
That's how I feel. So, Miriam,
Okay.
Gail us.
So I came across some poetry, and it's in the form of prayers. And it's a collection. It's by Ian Fraser, one of my favorite writers, and it's prayers for everyday life. Because we have many prayers that, are for, just very special times in our lives. But these are for everyday life, and there's certain categories, like in the supermarket or in the workplace. And so I'm going to say a few of these prayers. And then if there's time, I can say some more of them. So these are some prayers that for throughout the day, at any time of the day. Oh, dear God, may I not have thrown away the top to my sour cream? Next was, dear Lord, look at all those ants. And the third one for throughout the day. Oh, Jesus, where did all that water in the basement come from? And then there's some for the workplace, which is a very helpful. Everybody needs that. Dear God Almighty, why hasn't that idiot Liam been fired? Oh, Christ, I was just about to sign out for the day, and now somebody sends me this. And another one for the workplace. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, is this guy boring? And I think everyone sometimes, especially in New York City, going to the supermarket is always, prayers are needed there. And so this one was especially for the supermarket. Good God Almighty, holy and merciful, how do we get these tear-off produce bags to open? I've been pinching what I think is the top, the open end, between my thumb and forefinger for at least 3 minutes, and still I can't get the thing to open. Help me, dear God, please. So I'll close with that. And if
You
there's
wet your fingers. See?
and if there's more time, I have some others, so I'll pass. Okay.
Good. I like that. That's good. So, let's see. Who's dying to tell a story right now?
Me. No. Dale, I got a hand up.
Yes.
I was going to ask,
We're going to give you a leg
I
up
was
too.
going to ask Deborah to read a poem she reads sometimes of Tukaram that has become my favorite all-time poem. But she isn't here, and she's the only one I know that has that poem. So we struck out on that, but as in lieu of not having that option, I'd like to read another 30 names from among the 101. Number 32 being all embracing goodness. 33 being all embracing holy light. And next, remover of affliction. Next, beyond affliction. Next, immortal, fulfiller of holy desires, creator of holy attributes, compassionate judge, merciful giver, bountiful giver, unconquerable, freest of the free, deliverer from evil, never deceiving, never deceived, one without a second, Lord of desire, decreer of sovereign desire, soul supreme, never forgetting, just accountant, knowing all things, fearless, devoid of pain, most exalted one, ever the same, invisible creator of the universe, creator of the profoundly spiritual, hidden within the spirit, transmuter of fire into air, transmuter of fire into dew, transmuter of air into fire, transmuter of air into dew, transmuter of air into earth, supreme transmuter of air into dust. That's 66. J-Bo.
Hey, Baba. That's definitely food for thought and devotion.
An abortion.
What?
You're getting an abortion? Is that what you said?
No, you need a hearing aid.
God, thank you.
Costco has them, very reasonable. I have one.
Well,
That's,
Just
that's,
for that,
okay, that's a
just for that
joke.
reason.
I'll keep an ear peeled for them.
That's a joke in and of itself, where devotion turns into abortion.
Oh, is that where it came from? All right.
Yeah,
I was
You
wondering-
said
I was
devotion.
what?
Yeah, you said devotion, and he thought you said abortion.
Oh, look, another story that I read in The God Man. There was a Sanskrit festival, and people were speaking Sanskrit. Baba was there, the people, his entourage, and a Sanskrit scholar starts reciting something very long-winded, goes on for a while. Baba turns to his companion next to him and says, "You know, I don't understand. Here I know everything, but I don't understand Sanskrit." And I have puzzled over that for 50 years now. Here I know everything, but I don't understand Sanskrit. So obviously there's a difference between knowing something and understanding. I can't explain it. It's just intrigued me all these years. So he should have followed that with April Fools, but no, he didn't. All right. We've got Betty, we've got Bob, we've got Robert. You got something to throw into the pot?
Maybe. Well, let these other guys go first. I went twice already.
All right. All right, Betty. Can't hear you.
I have a very short hafiz and then a song. And also
Okay.
an apology. I keep hopping up and down, and because I got in late and my animals weren't fed, and so they're all clamoring to eat, and so I'm trying to take care of them. Um, and it's complicated because I have to do a special diet for my dear doggy. So that's what I'm doing, jumping up and down. My
Well, you just lost your turn with that one.
okay, that might yeah, maybe
I
that's
know.
enough
You
for
only
you.
had 2 minutes and that was it. Okay, go on. April Fools.
Hafiz says, I caught the happy virus last night when I was out singing beneath the stars. It is remarkably contagious. So kiss me. That's that one. I'll do it again. I think these poems deserve all double. I think we should make it standard that we do them again. I caught the happy virus last night when I was out singing beneath the stars. It is remarkably contagious, so kiss me. That's that one. And then,
Is this Ladinsky?
well,
Is
it's,
this a rendering by
yes,
Ladinsky? Okay.
yes. Ladinsky, Hafiz, yeah.
I
And then,
thought that was from Reader's Digest. My God.
really? Reader's Digest has caught on to Hafiz?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Wow.
That's Hafiz. I'm Uncle Stillskin.
Sounds like Hafiz to me. All right, and this is a song called Always Wrong by Mark Riney. Always wrong, always wrong. From the get-go to the late show, every day and all night long. Always wrong, I'm always wrong. Every breath and every brain wave, every note of my little song. Always wrong, I'm always wrong. Almost, but not quite, always seems to be my plight. It's kinda hard to be finite, but I'm yours, so I'm all right. Always wrong, always wrong. From the get-go to the late show, every day and all night long, always wrong. I'm always wrong. Every breath and every brain wave, every note of my little song, always wrong. I'm always wrong. I always do my best, never fail to make a mess. You put the burden on your chest and never love me any less. Always wrong, always wrong. From the get-go to the late show, every day and all night long, always wrong. I'm always wrong. Every breath and every brain wave, every note of my little song, always wrong. I'm always wrong. Lord, I wonder where your bliss went on the day you made myself. Though it's nice that I'm consistent, I wish it was something else. Always wrong. Always wrong. Always wrong. From the get-go to the late show, every day and all night long. Always wrong. I'm always wrong. Every breath and every brain wave, every note of my little song. Always wrong. I'm always wrong. Jai Baba.
Hey, Baba. That reminds me of a song that from the 70s from a Bible lover whose name I forgot. I think it might be in the source book, but the essence of it was, "May our Baba's come to get his babies out of jail." And it was a country western tune. It was just very sweet. And that song reminded me of it. Okay, so
Tom Rogers,
Tom Rogers, that's right.
Baby's Out of Jane.
Bob's got a hand up.
Okay, fire away.
Okay. This is a poem that I wrote some time ago, and I just found it again a couple days ago and did a few revisions to it. It's called View from the Dashboard. Bobblehead bobs back and forth, up, down, endlessly bouncing, rocking side to side, suddenly thinks with a grin and a frown, what sort of fool would go on this ride? Who's driving this rattletrap anyway? I have no idea what's happening. Is this real or just a crazy play? Everything now feels utterly baffling. Speeding, bumping, then crawling slow, all direction leads to utter confusion. Things I thought I knew, I do not know. Is this ride that seems so real illusion? What to do but bob along whatever the view, remembering somehow to remember you. So,
That's very nice.
Baba.
Very sweet.
Hear it again?
Sure. Yeah. View from the dashboard. Bobblehead bobs back and forth, up, down, endlessly bouncing, rocking side to side, suddenly thinks with a grin and a frown, what sort of fool would go on this ride? Who's driving this rattletrap anyway? I have no idea what's happening. Is this real or just a crazy play? Everything now feels utterly baffling. Speeding, bumping, then crawling slow, all direction leads to utter confusion. Things I thought I knew, I do not know. Is this ride that seems so real illusion? What to do but bob along whatever the view, remembering somehow to remember you. So,
Very
there you go.
well. Very sweet. So, Marion,
Bob.
I have just one other sharing of of, of this prayer, the prayer for everyday life. And this came to me as I don't know about other parts of the country, but in New York City, a lot of the supermarkets are putting in the self checkout. And I always like being taken care of, being checked out. But I thought, well, let me try that. Let me try that self checkout. And so this is the prayer that came about that. Almighty God, who created good, you also created self-checkout. And now you see the assistant needed light on the self-checkout machine that I am using is blinking. Why did you make the slot for cash payment and the slot for coupons so alike? Oh, dear Lord. Now they have to take the whole machine apart to get back the $20 bill that I put into the slot for coupons by mistake. My enemies, including Dale and the self-checkout monitor guy, laugh me to shame. Lord, be with me in the time of trial.
you haven't lost your sense of humor. Well, I have a joke that I would tell to Baba if I was there. It was about a minister that was walking down the street wondering what to buy his wife for her birthday. I saw a pet store and he went inside. He's looking at the different animals. And the clerk comes up to him and says, have you considered getting a parrot? He said, no, I hadn't. So here, let me introduce you to this wonderful specimen here. And then the specimen says, well, how do you do? My name's Jerry. Good to meet you. And he says, well, I think my wife would really enjoy that. Yeah, yes, I'll buy it. Jerry, that is. So he gets the bird and the bird seed and a few other things. And he buys a newspaper, of course, for the droppings and goes home with the bird, sets him down on the kitchen table in preparation for making his meal. And the bird starts cursing him like a sailor. And I don't want to repeat what he said, but I mean, I've been around, but my ears would turn red listening to the way he cursed, and he just put the minister down, called him a blinking idiot. And what the hell? What the hell did he think he's going to be happy in this situation? You know, he much preferred being in the pet store. And then he heard the door open, the front door, and he knew it was his wife. And this bird is cursing away. So he grabbed him by the neck, opens the refrigerator door, and throws him in. Doesn't hear him, has a lovely conversation with his wife. Finally, after 45 minutes or so, she goes upstairs. And he's wondering, did the bird die? He doesn't know what's happened. So he opens the door to the refrigerator, and the bird hops out onto the floor and starts apologizing abjectly. I'm very sorry. I scolded you the way I did and used such bad language. And I promise I will never, ever do it again. The minister's astounded because he's never met an animal so smart and so vocal. And then the parrot looks up and says, "What did the chicken do?" All right. Anybody get that joke?
No.
Betty?
What did the chicken do? Oh, the
Yeah.
chicken was frozen. He had frozen chicken in the
Oh, and in pieces in the refrigerator.
What did the chicken do?
And I know Bob would like that joke.
Tyson's.
I have another one too. You guys up for another joke?
Sure.
And this is back near the turn of the 20th century. And a fellow is walking down the street, and Delancey Street in the Lower East Side, which is full of shops. And a lot of times, you may have seen it in the vaudeville shows, they had a long cane with a hook on the end, and they would use it to grab a performer who wasn't very good and just drag him off the stage. Well, this particular haberdasher who sold men's clothing hooked this fellow and he dragged him into his store. And he said, "Have I got a jacket for you? You wouldn't believe it. $5. $5 for this jacket." And he takes it out. "Look at the weave. Look how beautifully it's made. The stitching, it's just incredible. Try it on." So he tries it on, and he looks at himself, the man tries it on, he looks in the mirror, and he says, "It's too long in back. Bend over." "How's it look now?" "Okay, okay. But the sleeve's too short. Bring your arm up like this. How's it look now?" "Okay. But now the other one's too long." "Okay, so bend over like this. Now, how's it look?" "It looks good. $5. So he gives him the $5. He goes out looking like this. Two fellows are approaching him on the sidewalk, and they pass him. And one says to the other, "Boy, isn't that a shame? Look how crippled up that guy is." And his friend says, "Yeah, but look how great his jacket fits him."
Very good.
Uh,
So we got another story. Ralph, is that you with your hand up?
this is supposed to be a humorous story. I'm just sort of extemporaneously sharing. My first time I went to the Mayor Baba Spiritual Center, hitchhiked from Washington, D.C. area to Myrtle Beach, and then stayed 2 days, 2 nights and a day, and then proceeded to hitchhike further to rendezvous with friends in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. And I got out at the center and on Highway 17, stuck my thumb out and somehow got to Florida and was moving along down through Florida, ended up out on the interstate around Orlando somewhere. I said, this is for the birds. This is crazy out here. I got to get back over onto that Highway 1 or over there on the beach. And so I did. I got over there, and there was hardly any traffic. And not only that, it was getting to be about 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. And I was determined to make it there, get on down. And so I stayed with it. And this guy pulls over in an old Studebaker. And I get in, and he says, "Where are you going?" I says, "Lauderdale area." He says, "Oh, good." He says, "I can take you all the way." And and I said, "Okay, well, great, great." And we take off. We go a little ways, and we see something small moving across the road. And in the meantime, the fellow and I had engaged in conversation, and I'd learned that he was a traveling carpenter and was going to a job he had contracted for, and had to start that next morning. So he was trying to get down there. He had his tools were in the back seat and in the trunk. I asked him where his tools were. He was telling me all about that. He had a bit of a speech impediment, this fellow. And we saw these little odd things crossing the road. And he said, "What is that?" And he stops. He puts his lights on high beam. He says, "What is that?" I said, "I don't know. What is it?" They're tiny. And we got out and stood there and looked, and there was a big tomato and a bunch of little tomatoes. And the big tomato says, "Kids," shouts out in this voice, says, "Kids, hurry up or catch up." And Jay Baba.
Jay Baba, that was good.
Okay, I have a short poem and I have a story afterward. The poem is titled Is. Everything is perfect, perfect as it is. Is it not? How can is not be is? Is, is, is. Is not is. How can is not be is when is, is? Is not is. That's it. Uh,
I like abstract stuff like that.
yeah, I wrote that in,
That
about,
Mayor Karan likes that
yeah.
one.
Okay, here's the story. Back in 2006, I was working at the Brooklyn Aquarium, the New York Coney Island Aquarium. I was working in the exhibits department. I have a background in sculpture and carpentry. I was on my break, and I went to go visit the walruses. And they're in a huge tank that's like 8, 10 feet high, 1 foot wide thick, and there's a walrus in there, and he comes swimming over to me, and I'm standing eye to eye to him, and we're looking at each other in each other's eyes, and I'm feeling like I'm having this spiritual moment of connection with another, with a walrus, with another animal, and I'm just like I'm just beaming with like delight that we're connecting like this. And all of a sudden, the security guard comes over, walks up next to us. He says, "Up, he's doing it again." And I look down, and the walrus is slapping his hoo ha, and he's looking at me, and I'm being objectified by a walrus. I've never felt so freaked out in my life. Thinking I'm having a spiritual moment when I'm being objectified. Anyway, I was a little bit afraid to share that story, but it's a true story, and a moment I'll never forget, for sure.
It's a unique story. Wow.
Yes, that would
Yeah.
be unforgettable, no doubt about it.
2 feet long.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Anyway, so I'll leave it at that.
You don't resemble a walrus.
Well, when you're in a tank with a pregnant female walrus and you usually mate 30 times in a season and there's nobody else around, I guess I look pretty good.
Well, aren't you flattered?
No. I was embarrassed. I'm embarrassed now. No, I was, but yeah, I guess whatever. I don't know what to say.
So long.
It was, yeah. So anyway,
Well, thank you for sharing.
That's my story.
Hey, Mayor Kieran, don't you? How about some other poems from you?
I don't see that mood coming, Betty, but you know what? Robert has shared, brought back a story for me,
Oh, wow.
So I will have to put my shyness aside and tell you guys. This happened in Mehrabad. Me and my wife, we were visiting first time together, Samadhi. And we were married 2011, and that is 2013 August this happened. So we had our trip and we're returning back, and we had to take 2 trains. The first train from Nagar to down, and next one down to our place, Hyderabad. And there's a very little time at down, you see, and we get down, and somehow we're waiting anxious for the next train. And we had to go to certain platform, we had cross this, cross that, and everything. We made it in time. And there's all like parallel tracks. And within the compartment where we are at, within the platform where we are at, 2 donkeys are there, 2 donkeys. And they're making that thing which Robert just saying. I was so we were watching right in front, and they're right next to train tracks now. And there is a donkey keeper by their side. And so bizarre what Baba was giving us our last glimpses from Mehrabad to see these 2 donkeys, and I don't know how to tell the story, but thanks to Robert, it happened to me too.
Well,
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
they're God's creatures. That's how we get more of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a story that Robin Oppenheim told me. That was about maybe 73. She had just come from India. And she was a very sexy, voluptuous young woman. And we bachelors were, of course, trying to court her in our own awkward way. And she told this story that she threw sex into the Dooney. And she passes by Mohammed, who runs after her and kisses her on the lips. And I'd never heard her do anything like that before, but I thought that was really a very funny thing to have happened to somebody, So, and obviously she didn't give it up because she had children, got married.
Yeah.
So, anyway, next story, Gail, you have something for us.
I do.
No. Sorry.
Well, I got another Baba story. During the new life, Baba and his companions were on the train station, and they passed by a vegetable and produce vendor, and they looked in the back. In the back room, the owner was praying before a picture of Baba. So they had to move quickly off before Baba was recognized. But Baba told him to get some oranges. So Erich bargained with the boy he left in charge to, because that's what Indians do. You sell 10 Pisces and they come up with 8. So anyway, he made a deal, got a discount, walked off with the oranges. And shortly thereafter, the boy was running after him and said, "My master will beat me and fire me if you don't pay me the full price for the oranges." This is the same guy who's praying to Baba, right? So I thought that was revelatory. How it's okay to pray to a picture, but when the real one comes by and there's your opportunity to be kind and generous, and you're not, it reminds me of that quote of Jesus before he was crucified in the Garden of Gethsemane. I think that's how you pronounce it. Whatever you do to the least of my children, you do so unto me. And that gives you pause for thought, doesn't it?
I didn't quite understand your story, Michael. I missed something about.
Well, there's the owner of the store is praying to a picture of Baba.
Okay.
And if Baba was there and he recognized him, he would have given him the oranges. But instead, he left his store in charge of his son or boy in charge, and all he did was make a deal for these oranges with Erich, not knowing who Erich was getting them for. So he ran after Erich, begged him to pay him the full amount, or else his boss was going to fire him.
Erich had negotiated the price for the oranges and gotten a discount.
Oh,
Right.
And the boy had second thoughts after.
No, he didn't have second thoughts. The owner was very angry at him,
That he had given the discount, I see.
and he had abused him and threatened him.
I see. So he was a hypocrite. The owner of the store was a hypocrite.
I wasn't going to say that.
Oh, he was. In a way, well, yeah.
I have a joke. We tell these jokes at Archie, so most of you have heard it. What's the difference between an outlaw and an in-law? You remember this one?
No.
An outlaw is wanted.
Oh, it's cruel. Not always true, but cruel.
I also have another. I have a whole bunch from Will Rogers, which I can't find. Will Rogers met Baba. Will Rogers spent half an hour with Baba at Pick Fair, and they talked about Will Rogers coming to India. I think Will had told him if he ever, if I'm ever be your way, I would like to come. There was some talk of that. But then Will Rogers died in a plane crash soon after that. Okay, I have many jokes, but the one I remember, and I know I've told you that, guys, this one is, all right, let's see if I can remember it. Um, in bygone days, how does it go? In olden times, men cursed the ground and beat it with sticks. And oh, back then they called it witchcraft. But in modern times, we call it golf. He told it better than I, that I can't quite remember.
I have a very short quote from Tennessee Williams. We're all children in a vast kindergarten trying to spell the name of God with the wrong bricks.
Say that again?
We are all children in a vast kindergarten trying to spell the name of God with the wrong bricks.
My gosh, that's great. Where is that from?
Tennessee Williams.
Oh,
Is that last word bricks?
brick.
Bricks. Yeah, like the little letter bricks and things kids used to make words with and build words with.
Classic. That's a great one. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got this little book full of all kinds of strange quotes, and that one just kind of jumped out. So yeah.
Mayor Kieran's got a hand up. Maybe you found a poem?
Yeah, this was the poem Deborah, she reads often, and Ralph was asking for it. Maybe I will try. It's by Tukaram, and it's called First He Looked Confused. I could not lie anymore, so I started to call my dog God. First he looked confused. Then he started smiling. Then he even danced. I kept at it. Now he doesn't even bite. I'm wondering if this might work on people.
That's good.
That's great.
There was a woman, this was told by Osborne, a woman wanted Sai Baba to come over for dinner. She wanted to feed him. So one day, Sai Baba, after repeated queries, he finally said, okay, I will come over. I'll come over tomorrow. And so the woman got the food together and she started preparing it. And, the Indians prepare food on the ground. They like to crouch and do things. And this dog came by and just pestered her for food. And she kept on chasing him away. And she said, this is food for Sai Baba. This is not your food. Go away. So finally, she went to go get the food was ready. She goes over to where Sai Baba is to bring him to her place. And she says, oh, I'm not going. When I came over earlier, you chased me away.
Speaking of food and animals, I need to excuse myself at least for a little bit. I've got complaining animals in the kitchen.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I'll come back.
getting late. I'm leaving too. I'm leaving.
I need to say good night. Great to see you all.
Yeah.
Night,
Good night.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
Say Baba,
Yes.
thank you, Michael. Say
Yeah,
Baba.
thanks,
Yes.
Michael.
Yay, Baba. Thanks for coming.
Hey, Baba.
Yes.
Hey, Baba.
I have
Hope
to
to
go
see you
too.
again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, Papa. Okay. Oh, that's right. You have the end. You get to end it, Michael. When you end it, it will end the video and
The lights out.
yeah, lights out. You see, it says end the meeting there.
Yeah.
You as host end the meeting.
Where does it say end the meeting?
The bottom right, and next to the
End, where it says end.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
And because it says end, this is the end?
it. Well,
Let's say Avatar,
Yeah,
Mayor
I have to
Baba,
go too.
TJ.
Avatar Maya Baba Ki Jai.
Baba, KJ,
Bye.
TJ.
Bye.
Meher Baba,
Baba,
Ki Jai.
Avatar Meher.
Baba
Baba,
Ki Jai.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Okay.
It was fun. I
Yeah.
know Baba enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. We came through in spite of ourselves, me anyway, and my animals. Okay.
Well, it added certain color.
Yeah. Right.
TJ.
Okay, I'm ending it.
Okay.
We're all, no.